We love working on the world building with Tim, the sets, the colors, the palette.
Are you as obsessed with Wednesday Addams as we are? Well, we've got an intricate breakdown of every location and design aspect that made the show as bingeable as it was. And yes, we're gonna be getting handsy, but more on that later.
I could do this all day.
Number 1. Everyone's favorite dismembered hand. We were losing it when we found out how Thing was really brought to life. Thing was completely practical. He was played by an actor and magician named Victor. Victor was completely wrapped in a blue bodysuit, and the only visible part of him was, obviously, his hand. He was often wheeled alongside Jenna Ortega on a camera dolly, hiding the rest of his body, underneath tables, behind corners, and many times behind Jenna herself. And don't worry, we've got more on Jenna soon. We've praised her for her ability to convey emotion without expression, but we've got to give props to Victor for conveying so much with just his hand. It's a really hard process because you have to show emotion through a simple hand that doesn't have a voice or subtitles. It's a lot of hard work to show emotion through a hand. I know a lot of people won't understand, but after they see the season, they will get it. Number 2. Did you notice how Wednesday always stands out, even when she's only in black and white?
Looks like a rainbow vomited on your side.
That was a lot more difficult to coordinate than you would think. Take a look at the extras in the background. You'll never see them sporting black and white.
Please excuse Wednesday. She's allergic to color.
If you take a look at Nevermore Academy and compare it to the town of Jericho, which was built from the ground up by the production team, more on that later, you can see that color tactic popping up again. In Jericho, everything is bright and colorful. You won't spot anything colored black, except, of course, Wednesday Addams. Number 3. Your typical New England town built specifically for the show. One of the inspirations behind the look of this town was Vermont, which was actually a lot more of a challenge to capture than the crew had imagined. Also, fun fact, did you know that the stores, or rather the facades of stores, were based on Charles Addams' original illustrations? There are so many little ways the show pays homage to its predecessor. The production team also brought on architecture and sculpting students from Bucharest to bring the town to fruition. There was very little CGI used in the creation of Jericho. Production designer Mark Scruton had a field day setting up this town. Being able to design worlds from scratch is what makes my job so rewarding, but being able to do it for Tim Burton is a gift. Number 4. The gargoyles are more than an addition of Gothic architecture. Did you notice that the gargoyles all show different emotions? They might also hold a clue to the show's big mystery. Let us know in the comments if you spotted it. Not only that, but the gargoyles also represent the different supernatural creatures that attend the school. Even the archways were designed to look like demonic faces.
Welcome to the glory. To Pentagon.
Number 5. One of the most unique aspects of the show is where it was filmed. You won't see a lot of media take place in Romania. All 8 episodes of the show were shot across 70 sets across 6 sound stages and several locations throughout Bucharest, Romania. One of the major locations used for the Nevermore exterior and aerial shots was Cantacuzino Castle. Mark Scruton envisioned a New England Gothic mansion as the setting for the eccentric school. Special effects were used to build on top of the roof to give it more of that classic Addams Family vibe. If you were to see this castle in real life, you'd realize that it looks a lot more inviting and way less spooky than it does on Wednesday.
You will love Nevermore. It's a magical place.
Number 6. Let's take a look inside Principal Weems' office.
I did send a photograph of myself in my office to my agent and said, "Is this what your office looks like?"
This amazing set is actually a historic house and monument built in 1874 that's utilized for Principal Weems' office and the mezzanine right outside. It's located on Victory Avenue, right in the heart of downtown Bucharest. Did you spot the bear in the very back of her office? That's an Easter egg we're gonna get into a bit later.
I know the suspense is killing you.
Number 7. Let's get more into Nevermore. This stunning castle is another historic landmark in Bucharest. The style is French, neo-Gothic, and was designed and built between 1911 and 1923. Some of its most telling features are the alluring staircase, the stained glass windows, the surrounding handrails, columns, and its bright red brick exterior. Number 8. A lot was built from scratch at Boufdale Studios. We're talking about the entire town of Jericho, Pilgrim World, the Sheriff's House, and the Quad. It makes sense they would do so much there, as it's Eastern Europe's largest and longest film studio that's been active in cinema for over 60 years. They do everything from construction services to props, wardrobe, and post-production. Number 9. Also known as the Gates Mansion, this set can be described as a very, very old house out in the countryside. The production team did an entire rework of the house to make it Wednesday appropriate. We did extensive work to it, including building the double garage, a new entrance and driveway with the iron gates, and breaking down the whole interior to give it the correct abandoned house look. Number 10. There are so many hidden references in the series. Which ones were you able to pick up on? Did you notice the back wall in the weather vane cafe? There are a bunch of metal weather vanes screwed to the wall. They were designed to reference Tim Burton's other movies.
Tim was always our first choice for the series Wednesday.
Or that the stuffed bear in Principal Weems' office is a nod to the stuffed bear in the Addams family house in the original show from the 1960s? What about the music? Did you notice the use of the harpsichord throughout the show? That's another nod to the music from the original Addams Family TV show. Number 11. Where the Black Cats took their well-deserved victory.
For the record, I don't believe I'm better than everyone else, just that I'm better than you.
This iconic competition was filmed across 2 lakes in Romania. We're going to state the obvious. Wednesday is chock full of Edgar Allan Poe references, from this lake competition to the Raven Dance. The story behind the Poe Cup, not only the fact it was filmed in the lakes that are called some of Romania's hidden treasures, but that it's an actual tradition dating back 125 years and named for Nevermore's most famous alumni. We couldn't think of a better setting for this competition to take place.
Let the Poe Cup begin!
Number 12. There are so many little details in every costume. Did you notice Principal Weems' costume was influenced by Tippi Hedren's look as Melanie in Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds? When it came to the way everyone looked in costume, not one detail was too small. There's a lot to be said about every costume piece, but according to the designer, Colleen Atwood, who is Tim Burton's longtime collaborator, her approach was to simply modernize the Addams family, but still bring us that hint of nostalgia. With Wednesday, we can nail the iconic look right away with a nod to the original, pointed collar, little print dress, and modernized platform shoes, and then put her in an environment that she totally contrasts with, an American happy time public school. Then you've given the nod to all that's come before.
I wish you luck.
We were definitely impressed with the attention to detail and incredible lack of CGI when it came to Wednesday. What did you think about the set design and all the little details we definitely missed our first time around? Give us your thoughts in the comments.